that's like perfect temp too. I made it really like drinkable this time.
Mouth burn.
Right. Well, here we are. Hello, everyone.
Today, Sophie and I are drinking Dandelion Leaf Tea. It goes along with our video today, which is going to be about detoxing, since spring is essentially here already. For the most part, we're feeling it.
Yeah, except minus the snow that we got this morning. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen.
But it's around the corner, really.
It is.
Actual spring.
The actual-
is coming.
yeah.
It's here.
It is.
So Dandelion Leaf Tea is, first of all, awesome, delicious.
It tastes so good. Like I don't know if you've had dandelion tea before, but we're drinking the leaves right now. If we would have had root, we probably would have thrown that in there as well. But the leaf itself is really good too, and it's so good for detoxing.
Yeah, leaf is particularly beneficial for the kidneys and urinary tract. What's also wonderful about it is you can go in your backyard and just pick some leaves and throw some hot water on it and make yourself a lovely tea that way.
Yep.
And then you're getting all kinds of wonderful nutrients as well, not just cleansing benefits, but it's all full of minerals and phytonutrients and everything that are so good for you.
Mother
Dandelions
Nature
are-
knew. She knew what she was doing when she grew dandelions in the spring. They don't grow for nothing.
That's right. So yeah, we're going to talk about cleansing today.
All the fun cleansing things and resetting your body after a long period of time in the winter, where we kind of are, wanting to be comforted with comfort foods and maybe eating a bit more rich and maybe not as physically active as we would like to be. So yeah, we're going to talk about all of the fun ways you can kind of reset your system and feel lighter, renewed, and just overall have more energy. And yeah.
I know I myself have been on a cleansing spree. Just finished doing a group with the Wild Rose Detox.
Yeah, you were going crazy
This
for a
guy.
while with that, and then juice cleansing, all
And
the
then
things.
I am currently sort of doing, but failing, a 5 juice cleanse. It's really hard to do these fasting cleanses when you have a child.
Yeah, I don't even think I can do that. Like, I feel like I just enjoy food. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if I
yeah.
could not eat. I mean, obviously you're getting nutrients from juice, but yeah, I
It's
don't
hard
know.
it's hard to not have the energy.
Yeah.
And then up for me next will be a candida cleanse, because I need that super bad. So starting probably next week, I'll be doing that. So it's like line them up.
If you want to do a candida cleanse with Jamie.
Yeah, let me know if you want to do it together. Maybe I'll put together a Facebook group and we can all
Do a
hang
cleanse
on-
together.
hang on
It's so
through the
much
tough
better when you
things.
have
Yes.
when you have people doing it together
Yeah.
with you. That's why spring is such a good time, like, to do it, and a lot of people are wanting that during the spring. So I think that's really good to do
You
it.
need to start off fresh.
Yeah,
Get slough off
Yeah.
the winter blahs.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
get your body in motion again. So.
yeah, for sure.
What we are going to talk to you about, no matter really what cleanse you're doing, there's sort of some basic how-tos. So we're going to talk about that, so you can kind of incorporate these into pretty much any cleanse that you're doing. And of course, there's going to be some modifications, especially if you're doing like a juice cleanse, and obviously you're not going to pay attention to the food and stuff like that, but I'm sure we're going to trust you guys to figure that out on your own.
Yeah. So we're gonna start with doing pre-detox tips. So before you even start, there are some things that you should do in order to make sure that you have an easier time, first of all, with it, and you're not going into a super huge shock. And then second of all, when your body is more prepped like that, it's actually easier for it to carry out the process of detoxification. So just a few things we're going to run through with the tips and whatnot. So just making sure first and foremost that you're in a way getting yourself ready by cleaning up your diet and cleaning up, the foods that you're eating. Because if you go from eating crap for one day and then the next day you're like, boom, cutting out everything and eating super healthy and super clean, it's going to be so much harder for your body and so much harder for you too to do that.
Yes. Yeah. Making sure that the cleanse that you're doing is okay for your body.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, cleaning up your diet should always happen anyways.
Yeah.
If you're on any medications, if you have any health concerns, any sort of stuff like that, a lot of cleansing is done with herbs, which can be contraindicated with lots of medications, depending on what's going on with you. So you want to, yes, first of all, make sure that you're in general good health, or whatever you're doing is okay with whatever you've got going on. And then clean up your diet.
And then clean up your diet. Yes.
And in that sense, you want to try and there's lots of fresh greens coming out of the markets now, so things like that are wonderful. Making sure that you can buy as much organic as possible, grass-fed meats, those types of things are pretty much essential. Avoiding packaged foods, so you want to watch lots of sugar and salt and terrible fats. And that sort of stuff, and it's dead food. Everything that's in a package is
just don't buy packaged food. If it has a package, you don't need to buy it. You just need to get lots of fresh, good foods, and eat as much, organic if you can, because those are going to be the ones that are less contaminated, that haven't been sprayed, less likely to contain things that are going to kind of get in the way with your detox. So eating organic is always helpful when you're detoxing.
And at least looking up the Clean 15.
Yeah.
Clean 15 Dirty Dozen. The Environmental Working Group puts it up fresh every year, so it's always a new list, it's always updated, and you can figure out what to buy organically from that list if you want to look that up. Yeah, that's always a good resource.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Yeah, and especially too, like for me, because I don't eat, obviously I don't eat meat. I follow mostly a plant-based diet, so I really try to make sure that the grains, if I am doing, I try to stick more to gluten-free grains first of all, because wheat just really isn't in general the best thing, especially if you're detoxing. So I'll try to make sure that all of the grains that I'm getting are organic, to make sure again that they're not contaminated with any other crap.
And starting to watch your sugar intake, your caffeine intake,
coffee drinkers out there.
We see you.
You don't want, and I'm one of them, so you don't want to be drinking coffee when you're doing a cleanse.
Yeah, for sure. And increasing your water intake, always important. Every single detoxification method in your body relies on water.
Yeah.
So if you're not drinking enough, you can run into more problems
Yeah.
during your detox, because your systems are not getting the water they need to flush everything out.
You need to be drinking lots of water. And if you don't like the taste of water, you have a hard time drinking water on its own, just add some lemon or throw some cucumber in there, some fruit, tea. Don't ever say that you can't drink water, because there's so many different ways that you can dress it up. So
watching the salt, avoiding all the deep fried foods.
In general, just trying not to eat out as much if you are the type of person that will just eat, grab lunch when you're at work, or, go out for dinner in the evenings. The less you're eating out, the more you're making food at home, and the more, hopefully you're making stuff at home, not just buying frozen stuff and reheating it. So the more stuff that you can cook yourself at home, the more you'll really know what's going into your food, because you don't always know what's going in at restaurants, especially if you're eating that all the time.
So lean towards the lighter, fresher foods. Or if you are going out, try and have a salad somewhere. You can, pretty much every restaurant serves salads now, so that's always a good go-to. And then the last one is plan to stay active, because your skin is a major detoxification organ.
For sure.
So your sweat, it also moves your lymphatic systems. Your lymphatics are one of the main detox methods in your body too, carries all the toxins throughout everywhere to be filtered out. So keeps all that going. Yeah,
and one thing that I've kind of incorporated into my daily life is dry brushing, which is super great for your skin when you're detoxing. And it's something that I don't even necessarily do when I'm just detoxing. I try and do it every day, especially if I've had a really good workout. I'll just give myself a dry brush before the shower, and it, once you do it so often, it only takes a minute, and then you know that you're removing all of those kind of dead skin cells off of your skin, so that way it can properly, keep detoxing and getting the toxins out through your body that way.
And good to keep up throughout your cleanse, and
it's great for your lymphatic system too. Super great for your lymphatic system, getting that lymphatic drainage going. That's another channel of elimination. So
and then so during your detox, you want to obviously keep up. The skin brushing would be a great one to keep up with, keeping up with your water intake, keeping up with staying active if you can. Obviously, if you're doing a fasting cleanse, a lot of times staying active isn't the best idea ever, but even just light exercises and stretching and stuff is enough to help keep things moving in your system.
Yeah, for sure. And that way, like, to kind of like on top of what Jamie's saying, be nice to yourself too, you know, like when you're doing a detox, a lot of people, it's hard. It's definitely not an easy thing to do, especially if you're eating differently than you normally eat. You know, if you're not having coffee, which is your normal ritual, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. So you want to make sure that you are being kind to yourself and maybe getting a little bit of extra sleep, or maybe having like a nice bath, or you know, Epsom salt bath, like something.
Incorporating meditation.
Yeah, doing things
to sit quietly.
Yeah, doing things for yourself that are gonna feel good but also benefit your health, so that way you're not like, you know, kind of in the rut of like, oh, poor me, I'm cleansing and I can't have this or I can't do that.
Yeah, for sure. When you're doing a cleanse, a lot of times people can experience what's called a healing crisis. And this is your body essentially just kicking up all of those toxins and being like, okay, we're moving. And so you can sometimes experience things like headaches and moodiness and nausea and
essentially things getting worse before they get better. You might have really looser bowels. You might, you might even have a hard time sleeping.
Get really angry.
Yeah, for no reason. Really angry. I'd be angry too if I didn't have coffee.
But your liver is the seat of anger.
For sure.
So if you're cleansing your liver and kicking all that stuff out, most people will get angry.
Totally.
You're moving all that stuff out of your body.
Your moods are such a huge part of that too, like that whole cleansing thing. That's why it's so good to incorporate things like meditation, go to a yoga class, do things that are going to benefit your mind and your body as well.
And if you're having a really hard time doing something like activated charcoal binds to toxins in your system, so it can help flush them out a little better to help stop reabsorption. Ginger, peppermint tea are great ones, especially if you're experiencing nausea stuff.
Adding ginger to my smoothies, like if in the morning, like my husband and I, we've been like putting tons of ginger in the smoothies in the morning, and it's so good because it just like settles your stomach and it tastes so like fresh, and it's really, really nice.
Great for your digestive system. Yeah. And then other things to watch out for is just reducing your toxic load in general. So watching your skincare products, your cleaning products, environmental toxins. So if you're spraying air fresheners or hairspray, or
a lot of people don't know this too, but candles, like getting scented candles, and you're like lighting those, you know, all the time in your home, like that's a huge source of like toxins in your air that you're just constantly breathing in. So maybe using like something a bit more natural, like essential oils or even beeswax candles to keep your air clean. Like those are all other really nice toxin-free ways to
and essential oils and beeswax candles actually clean the air. So they're actually cleaning a lot of those toxins that we're talking about and concerned about. But it is important to note that 60% of what goes on your skin goes in your skin. So I personally don't put anything on my skin that I wouldn't ingest.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
and you know what? It's not gonna be like one of those things too, especially if this is all new to you. You're not gonna just like kind of switch overnight. I mean, you can do that, but it's gonna be really hard and you're gonna probably waste a lot of money. Just getting rid of all your old stuff. So what I've done over the years, like, and I'm still working on it, it's still a process, but gradually like cleaning up one area of your life, whether you start with like your cleaning products, so starting to eliminate and not buying any new cleaning products and starting to make your own, and then, you know, moving to your bathroom maybe and doing like, okay, what stuff am I putting in my hair, what's my skincare regime like, and then kind of like working in phases like that. It's a lot easier for me, especially someone who like before years ago didn't have, you know, access to all of this great info and natural stuff. So it's a process.
It is one step at a time. And after your detox, a lot of times people will have a hard time kind of getting back into the groove of regular life afterwards. So you want to make sure that you're keeping up with your water intake. You want to depending on what you're doing, but sometimes changing your diet from a cleanse isn't even necessary. So trying to keep up with the diet that you were on the cleanse.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, some of them are pretty restrictive, so sometimes you want to incorporate
incorporating a few different
exactly. Just keeping a clean diet in general is obviously always a good idea. And a cleanse is a great way to kind of kickstart that and get you on that track. So.
Yeah. And then a lot of people too, sometimes like after they go off a cleanse, they'll kind of like go on this bender, like on their last day, they'll be like, I'm off my cleanse, I'm gonna go celebrate and get some fries and fast food. And it's like, what, like, why do that? You just worked so hard to clean your body. And I get that you want to celebrate, but there's lots of other things you can do to celebrate, or make healthier versions of the foods that you're craving at home,
Make some banana ice cream.
Yeah, make some banana ice cream, or
some sort of raw pie.
Roast some sweet potato fries, or like something like that. I feel like is a lot better. Just be good to yourself, like you are your best friend, so don't do anything that you wouldn't like suggest for your best friend to do.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. And I know for me, a lot of times people have a hard time doing cleanses and going through cleanses and keeping up with them. I know I personally like to tell people that I'm doing them so that I feel like I'm being held more accountable.
That's so true.
So like, hey, so if I'm doing a candida cleanse,
so I'm not gonna like
make sure I don't eat any sugar.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna walk up to Jamie and be like, hey, you want some chocolate? Like, it's just it makes it easier for yourself.
Yeah,
too.
It gives you that little bit of support system, and I said, it makes you almost be held more accountable because they know I'm not supposed to have that.
Yeah, exactly. So. And I found that a huge help. I did a candida cleanse last year, and one of the other girls here, Shauna, she was doing one at the same time as I was, and I found that so helpful because like we were doing it together, and I could kind of be like, hey, how are you feeling today? Like, oh, I've been having a really hard time like finding things to make for dinner, or actually just like, oh, I made this, or I was making sure that I was adding this into my regime too. So having a buddy is so helpful.
Detox buddy, and then if you are reintroducing foods, it's a great time to find out if you have any food sensitivities. So only introducing foods like one at a time, especially if you had anything like bloating and gas and those types of things. This is a great time to kind of figure that out. So how introducing one food every couple days.
If you feel like you might have a sensitivity to wheat or gluten or dairy, especially, that's a big one for most people. But and if you normally ate that before your cleanse, like Jamie said, introduce one thing at a time, and then you'll kind of know what it is that's really upsetting you, and avoid that.
Easier to kind of identify when you're doing it slowly. You've already eliminated, and you want to reintroduce. And it's also awesome to keep up with little detoxification things. So drinking teas like the dandelion leaf, clavers, dandelion root, nettle, uva ursi.
Yeah. There's lots.
Alfalfa, ginger, peppermint. There's so many wonderful herbs, and lots of these probably grow in your backyard. It's awesome to just be able to go and pick them and make yourself a fresh tea, because making tea from the fresh leaves of plants
so good.
Is a lot yummier.
Oh my gosh, I love peppermint tea fresh. That's like my favorite. And also another thing that you can do too, like every morning before I wake up, one detox kind of habit that I've practiced as well is having warm lemon water first thing in the morning every day, and usually I'll throw in like a piece of ginger or something like that too, and that's just something really nice that you can do on a day-to-day basis. And honestly, like my mornings don't feel right if I don't have lemon water. Like it feels like it just cleanses me, it hydrates me, it just feels really good for my digestive system. So
I actually do a little bloop of apple cider vinegar.
Oh yeah, see, I hate the taste of apple cider vinegar, but if you like it, or down hatch.
Down hatch feels good, gets my digestive system going. Same thing, it's something easy you can do every day.
Yeah.
And you do get used to the taste too. I mean, obviously if you like lemon better, then that's a cool way to go. But since I was in the hardcore cleansing mode, like apple cider vinegar,
all the way.
And it's always a good one. And then, if you've eliminated things like sugar and caffeine and alcohol over your cleanse, those are things that are awesome to stay off of.
Yes.
Or just have as treats. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I
Make it a
personally
treat.
have about one coffee a week.
Yeah.
And it's my treat.
And then you really enjoy
And
it, you know, and
exactly.
you savor it, and you get to spend that time drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's much more special.
Yeah, exactly.
That.
And just chugging it on your way to work,
Mm-hmm.
which is not what I do. I enjoy it in the morning. But that is one thing I'm working towards is having it a bit less.
Yeah.
So I hear you, all the people out there that are daily coffee drinkers. I feel you. Yeah.
And obviously we have there's a whole bunch of different kinds of.
We're gonna show you guys some of the cleanses that we have, cleanses
down.
that we have here that you can get from us.
Yeah.
And there's so many different ones depending on your needs and like what you're kind of looking for. Like we have so many.
So we're gonna be showing you the full body detox cleanses. You can obviously detox specific organs,
Like your liver or kidneys or like we have stuff for that too. But yeah, these are more of like the general,
the full body.
Yeah,
doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
The other thing I did want to mention that we forgot to earlier is that before you do any sort of cleanse, you want to make sure that your bowels are regular. That's going to be the first one. So if your bowels are not regular, then maybe just doing a bowel cleanse is the best way to start, because your body gets rid of, especially your liver, obviously,
so much
gets rid of so much waste and toxins through your digestive tract. So if you are constipated,
it's just going to build up in there.
It's going to sit there and just get reabsorbed, and your body's going to have to deal with it all over again, and probably possibly even make you sicker, and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So
you don't want that.
get your bowels moving.
Yeah. Get it all going. So
go.
First. This is a first cleanse. So if you've never done a cleanse before, or it's your first time with doing anything like a detox or a cleanse, this is a really nice option because it is a little bit more gentle. So that said, it's still going to be effective. One thing they do recommend though, Renew Life, is adding in some extra fiber here. So especially for first-time cleansers that have never done anything before, having that extra fiber. Whether you use like ground flaxseed, they also have a product too called Fiber Smart. So if you've never done a cleanse, you just need that little bit of extra help with fiber to make sure that you're actually eliminating the toxins. They're not just being recircled around in your body and in your intestine. Yeah, so that's a really good one.
And
for
I think
that.
we also have coupons for Renew Life cleanses.
Yeah, we do
right now too. So this is Cleanse Smart. It's a 30-day program, so more of a long-term full solution. The first cleanse is, I think, like half dose of
it's 15 days, the first one.
Yeah, so half dose and half the amount of time. So it's a lot more gentle. If you're a little more hardcore, you can go with something like the Cleanse Smart.
Yeah. So next, these are just a couple of other ones that we have too. There's, some of you might be familiar with them. I think that's that's English side. This is the Fluorescence one. So this is another good one. This one's, to my knowledge, a little bit more in depth, but it is very, very good cleanse. So it actually includes your fiber. It includes your herbal tea blend, which is already in a liquid form. So you just basically have to like add that to some water, and then you can drink that. And I think this is a 7-day one, so it's a little bit shorter. So if you want one that is not quite as long as 30 days, that's a really good one to go with, but still effective.
And the fluorescence in that guy is actually similar to the Essiac tea, which people use for cancer treatment and stuff like that. So it's awesome for anybody going through or has gone through any sort of chemotherapy, radiation type of stuff as well. The Wild Rose Herbal Detox, which is the one that I've recently done. It's a 12-day program with 4 different bottles. It comes with a recommended diet as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's a great one to start off with as well, and I found it rather gentle. I had a little bit of nausea and a tiny headache for like the first day, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So that one's really awesome.
Another tip, if you are really regular already, there are certain ingredients in some of these cleanses. So like, for instance, like I know the Wild Rose has a formula, like kind of like almost like a laxative formula.
Yeah.
And same with the 2 by Renew Life. You can just not do that altogether if you're really regular, which is what I did. Like, and I know you did that too. Like, sometimes you don't need it, the extra one.
You have Crohn's disease.
Yeah,
don't need to go anymore.
Don't need to go that intense. And then this is the last one that we have here, the kit. So this is a 20-day one by St. Francis. So one of your favorite companies for sure. So yeah, they do a really great job. So they have a formula for your lymphatics, your kidney, your liver, and your bowels. So it really does cover everything. And it's all in tinctures, which are super easy to absorb. And there is a tea.
Actually. It is not. There's 2 tinctures.
Oh, there's a capsule, and then
I think that's
powder,
psyllium
and then another
and a
tea. Okay, so that's pretty cool.
So
Yeah.
the main way to detox is herbal, like we mentioned earlier. So you do always want to make sure that that's
Yeah.
okay, as I said. But yeah, most of these are really gentle. There's not too many cleanses that we have in store that are so hardcore that we wouldn't recommend them unless you're in pretty bad shape. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's about it. If you have any questions, you can always hit us up down below. We'll also leave our link to our Facebook page, our Instagram. We post a lot of stuff on there too. You can contact us through any of those ways. And thank you guys so much for watching. We love spending time with you and doing videos with you and sharing our knowledge.
Yeah, and let us know, once again, let us know if you have anything that you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we will be trying to do these on a regular basis, and we want to know what you want to know.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.
Bye.